Hey, what's up everyone? It's Werehog DX here, and today I have my first official Q&A with one of the head owners for Revamped Memories, who is LightWhisp. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below what do you think. Now on to the Q&A. And a quick disclaimer, in this video we did show off an early build for Revamped Memories, which we are not showing in the video based on the coder's request. So whatever we are talking about is on that early build. Hey, what's up everyone? It's Werehog DX here, and today I'm with Light, or LightWhisp. Please introduce yourself.
What's up everyone? I'm LightWhisp. I'm one of the owners, one of the main owners, and a bit of a director for the whole Revamped Memories thing as a whole. I help make the UI, I help plan things out, I help get perms. I pretty much have a hand in everything.
Yep, and this is the Revamped Memories Q&A today. So now Light is actually giving us a small showcase on Revamped Memories. This is a really raw build, so Light, if you could explain the build.
Yeah, so this is more of our testing grounds when it comes to the game. This is where everybody kind of like builds out their code. We have a couple of these just so people can work out like what they got to do specifically. So you'll see our main coder over there, Brett, is having a good time with Awesome, another one of our coders. We've got a few moves currently implemented with Colossus. Charge, climb, counter, and block, like the rock throw version that he was originally supposed to have, are all coded, but they just don't work all the way. So he's doing the one main move. Yep, there it goes. There he goes.
Oh wow.
And yeah.
Wow. So this looks like an updated model for Shadow the Hedgehog.
It's actually just his remodel that they originally had. So the one that you see in the game, as far as I know, is the normal one, but they actually remodeled him before they all quit, but they gave perms universally. So this is his remodel.
Oh wow. Yeah, this looks amazing. So based on everything in this build, what is the new thing that you could say that's new outside of Outcome Memories?
So as of right now, not too much. Because we're building the game from the ground up, we're not reusing any code, we're not decompiling anything, not even on the client side. As of right now, we're just trying to replicate the same feel and system. So even if I went to Colossus, right? Like just getting everything to work right, like getting the camera zoom, getting the grab to work. Things like this are things that we're currently working on. Since we're making everything from scratch, it's a bit of a long process. You can even see in here, I'm a little glitched out.
Yeah.
But this is just kind of our testing ground. A lot of the stuff we're working on is more getting all the assets ready. We're about to do like a big coding sprint. So we're actually going to see more things going on, but we're changing just about everything. The UI will also be changing, the way the tester selector works, pretty much everything.
All right, sounds good, sounds good. So I do see a couple of models back there. Are those new models for upcoming characters?
So this is Rouge. I mean, this is everybody has that. This is also the normal Omega. We just have these as testing dummies.
Yeah.
This is our redesign for Cream. This is her model.
Oh, wow.
This is normal Sonic as reference. This is just a funny guy that they have here to test things on. And this is, I guess I could talk about it because we just revealed it. This is our outdated Crimson model. Oh,
okay. That sounds good. So CrimsonX is confirmed for Revamped Memories.
Yep, he's got a bit of a unique playstyle. I kind of centered him around replicating the way that like the original Sonic.exe worked. So we can talk a bit about that later, but I definitely think he'll be one of the more exciting things about the release.
That sounds good. So when it comes to this current build, so what would you say? Are there any major physics updates, as in like for the character's sprint or any sort of damage effect? Anything that is, like a modification?
Yeah, so as of right now, kind of to the point I was saying before, we're just trying to rebuild it from the ground up and then add more after. So right now we're just focusing on recreating the systems, and we'll add enhancements later. Something that I know I want to do is and this isn't confirmed, but we toyed around with the idea of like having momentum exist, but only on specific maps as like a gimmick. So we might look into creating that system, but other than that, right now we're mainly just focusing on recreating the feeling without all the bugs.
Sounds good. So based on your personal opinion, what do you think so far? Who would be, and this is outside of this build, so who would be so far the most well-developed character you guys have currently?
On the Survivor Executioner end?
For both.
For the killers, definitely, it's probably a tie between Colossus and Crimson. Colossus is actually coded, so like obviously he's more on that. But in terms of like everything else, Crimson is the most far along. We have the official voice actor for CrimsonX from Outcome Memories reprising his role for us. So we'll be going through that avenue for him. And in terms of the model, it's done. The animations are done. We just need to make the sound effects, the VFX, and then get the voice lines encoded. But his moveset is completely done. Even his skins are starting to get underway when it comes to conceptualizing. So when it comes to like most complete visually and conceptually, it's probably Crimson, but most complete as in like in the game, it's definitely Colossus.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So do you have anything you would want to show as in like outside of this build yet again for any sort of render or current confirmed move sets for CrimsonX?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and pull it up right now.
All good, all good.
So for Crimson, his moveset was pretty much exclusively designed by me. We have a couple different people who help work on movesets, but for this one, everybody kind of seemed to agree that I nailed it on the first time. So I'll just go through things like one by one. First through his overall playstyle, and then we'll be skipping movement, attack speed, jump height, just because like those things are subject to change to balance. That's not antithesis to his actual playstyle.
All right.
So the goal is to make CrimsonX as much of an annoyance to survivors as possible. Since he's generally a bit more playful than something like 11X visually, it's a good idea to lean into the playfulness and repeat the patterns he had in original appearances in ASIM games in general. So what I mean by that is like in the Disaster, right? Like the Sonic.exe equivalent had a kind of like different stuff than 11 does. So I brought some of that into it. So his passive is called Entertainment. So using Laughter on Crimson will decrease his teleport cast time, and this will be indicated via a bar. So his first move is called Laugh. Laugh functions exclusively to fuel the passive Entertainment's fuel bar. The longer Crimson laughs, the more Entertainment fills up, and there's a maximum amount. Entertainment locks the Executioner's movement. However, since he's going to be open to attacks while laughing will also be available upon hitting a stun. So if Crimson hits you, the idea is that you'd run away and he'd like taunt you while you're leaving, like he'd laugh at you. And the benefit to that as the killer is that you'd be filling up your passive, which leads into teleport. So when you use the move, Crimson will place a beacon. This beacon, like what we're going to use to represent it, is work in progress. We have two ideas. We're either doing like, you know, the flowers and the tikis on Green Hill?
Yeah.
We're going to be doing either that or like some sort of other effect. So Crimson will place a beacon. He can place 4 right now. We might change it due to balance. He can place 4 anywhere on the map, and he can always see them via an outline. So think about like when somebody's down, you can see them cross map. It's the same thing. When Crimson looks at the object, Crimson can cast Teleport again to teleport to it. Survivors can break this object by using a stun on it, but if they do, Crimson will see who did it, kind of like an indicator.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is you can choose to let him teleport or you can stop him for whatever he's planning, but he will find you, since he won't be getting any sort of indicator.
Okay, so Crimson definitely does sound like it will be a big issue in the game, like as in one of the harder executioners to deal with.
Oh yeah, no, I designed him to be both hard to play as, but hard to beat as well. So his next ability is called Seek. When you use the move, it picks one of 2 targets. The closest person is line of sight. So a line of sight would be like anybody you can see, the closest person there. If you can't see anybody, it'll pick the furthest person from him. So Crimson will begin a slow charge. If you have ever played like the original Sonic EXE, you know, like when it plays the drowning theme and he's chasing you?
Yeah.
Think that. So he'll start really slow, but over time he'll ramp up in speed. And the way that he finds you, it's not a manual charge. It's not like 11. It'll use path tracing. So the game will automatically give you the shortest route to the person you targeted. So it'll like go around the map. It'll go anywhere it needs to find that person. So Crimson can fail this charge upon 2 conditions. If he's charging for too long, or if he's been stunned out of it. And he can only be stunned out of it once he's reached a certain speed. So if you do it in front of everybody, you can't just get instantly stunned. Like you can still do it. When he lands it, Crimson will temporarily blind the survivor and do a certain amount of damage. We haven't figured that out yet.
Oh, okay. So would he be able to phase through walls when doing this move?
So because he's using path tracing, he doesn't need to. And I don't want to give any sort of killer a guaranteed hit, which is what you would get pretty much. Because if you're, let's say, on old X's castle, right, with normal outcome memories, and let's say you're on the top floor, If
Yeah.
Crimson does it directly below you, you're not going to be able to hit him, right? Because he's going to be facing through the ground. Like you won't have enough time to hit him. So we're using path tracing instead. So he'll take the fastest route to you, and it's technically a guaranteed hit if you don't stop him. And the idea is if Crimson teleports somewhere and you don't see him, and he doesn't see you, and he casts Seek, everybody gets scared. They all hear the drowning music. They're like, oh my god, who's he going to go for? And then he'll come in like top speed because he's so far, and he'll smack somebody, and he'll blind them.
Oh wow. So basically on my assumption, I think a character with the counter would work best. Like if you have Eggman or Knuckles.
Yeah, for sure.
This makes sense.
And then his last. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, nothing. Go on.
I was gonna say his last ability is called Frisky Play. So when if you remember the Knuckles section, you know how like he tries to hit Crimson, but he's like surrounded by the static, and you can't hit him because he keeps teleporting.
Yeah.
So the idea is that when you use it, X will enter that pose and be surrounded by static. If he gets hit during that pose, he'll teleport a few like studs away, and he'll summon a bunch of clones of him that are doing the same thing. So the player will get confused. There's a bunch of X clones everywhere. They don't know what to do. And during this time, Crimson can hit them. It's not a guaranteed counter. And the reason that this is good for both sides is because of how many clones there are, the more clones that are left by the time Crimson hits you, like if he finds you, he'll do more damage. But if you break the clones by just touching them, if you break them all or a certain amount, he'll do less damage than he would have normally. So it's kind of like a risk-reward thing. Like, do you want to go for the guaranteed damage of getting hit with the max damage, or do you want to risk it and like try to break things? Because the Crimson could walk away, you know? Like, it's not like he's forced to hit you. He could get you and then go get the guy who's like 5 HP, but like, are you going to take that risk?
That makes sense. So that sounds really good. Like a big question when it comes to the clones. So what would your plan be? Would it be like the best possible way to make it like somebody actually doesn't know who's the real Crimson? So, and like, let's say like Crimson is just in that state, right? So you'll know which one is the real one. So what would be the best indicator? Like, is there any sort of indicator in that moment?
So you can't really tell. They're all surrounded by the same static.
Oh, so basically from what I'm hearing, this would like, what would your assumption be when it comes to the max damage and the lowest damage? What would your so far like number be for the damage?
For if he hits you?
Yeah, if he hits you.
If he hits you with the clones, I'd say like closer to 50, so more like a Colossus hit. But if he doesn't have the clones, it could be like 30, maybe even less.
That sounds good. I'm definitely excited to see how Crimson would play. So, so far, do you have any sort of how are you supposed to say, like some sort of character poster render photo you got for Crimson?
Sorry, say that again?
Yeah. For Crimson, if you have some sort of character render, like photo, poster style thing.
I do have I have a funny joke. I have a joke render. It does use his model, but we haven't we kind of do things where like we finish a model, then we take time to make like promotional renders. But we made like this joke one. You can kind of get a feel for what we're going for.
Oh, I get it. This is good. Everybody can see it on screen right now. And definitely Crimson's design is actually really good. I like how it, honestly, for real, like I like how they're it's a like you're getting more of that classic Sonic feel, right?
Yeah,
and that's what really comes out of Crimson's model here, which I really like.
And here's a shop icon.
Oh wow, shop icon is spot on.
Yeah, we went for definitely for accuracy with his kit and pretty much everything. We're trying to go for accuracy.
That's really good. I honestly love it, and I'm gonna be honest when it comes to like I have a lot of comments on this where, when you said about that move, I forgot the name, where Crimson will go to the closest person and the music will start playing,
Seek.
the drowning music. Yeah. So Seek would be like, that is like, sounds like probably one of the best developed, how are you supposed to say, most hard developed moves in the game then, if it has that sort of like tracking through.
Yeah, I spoke with the coders just to make sure it's possible before I wrote it down, because path tracing is to my knowledge, not absurdly hard to make, but also like it's not something you just pump out in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's something that it's pretty advanced, and in outcome memories, it's definitely something really advanced. Actually, I have a bonus question when it comes to Seek. So, what would you do if, like, let's say if you're in X's castle or wherever, so you have Crimson going in that run state, going for someone else, but some other character quickly like jumps in. Would Crimson grab that character? Pardon?
He'll ignore them.
He'll straight ignore.
Yeah, he'll phase through them.
So technically, yeah, that makes sense, because I was thinking that if it would be some sort of situation like while the animation's still going on, whoever's the closest, right? And
yeah, so it picks whoever's the closest if he can see multiple people. It only picks the farthest person if he can see nobody. And to your example, like if Eggman jumped in front of him, if he doesn't use the shield, Crimson is just going to ignore him. But if it does use the shield, that would count as a stun. So it hit him.
Oh, okay. So in that situation, you'd have to have some level of teamwork, and Crimson would be in some sort of disadvantage then.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially the idea that I want with Crimson is if you're good enough at him, you should be able to split everybody up with the teleporting. Because the idea is you'd build up your entertainment stack, right, with the laughter. And once you build it up enough, your teleport would be like just go, go, go. And you would just keep teleporting around and splitting everybody up slowly. And then once everybody's split up, you activate Seek, and everybody has to like freak out and decide like, who do we think he's going to go for? And how do we like group up?
Oh, that really sounds interesting. So another example, how you said Eggman could use the shield. Would somebody else be able to use anything if Shadow comes in the middle and does Chaos Snap or anything?
Yeah, so right now it's any stun. So any stun that you could target him with, you could do. The thing about Seek, though, is that if you let him build up his speed, it's going to be pretty hard to like track him. You won't be shooting him. You probably won't hit him with a Knuckles Punch. Like he'll be really, really, really fast.
Oh, wow. So probably the one character that'd be a really good save is either if you have Eggman that comes in on time, or if you have like Tails accurately using the laser. And like
I mean we have. No, go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say we have plans for like the survivors. I guess this would lead into our next topic, but like we have plans for survivors to get new moves and also like rework some of their kits. And one of the survivors that we recently announced, Sally. I helped write her gameplay, and she would definitely like have ways to mitigate Crimson.
All right, that sounds good. So what is the next thing you want to talk about when it comes to this build in specific? Anything else for this build?
Nothing really with this build. It's funny. The coders were not exactly the most pleased by me wanting to show this build, because they're like, what the hell? We have bugs still. So I might be in a little bit of trouble with them, but
it's all good.
There's not much more to talk about when it comes to this build. Even like, but we might have like extra footage that I'll send you before this video comes out, because they are certainly on me right now. They're like, what are you doing?
And
they're a little bit upset, but it's all good. It's all good. I'll be able to send you guys like honestly, what's probably going to happen is we're going to be describing stuff, and then we're just going to recreate it in the newer build, and then I'll send that to you.
All right, sounds
good. They
good.
specifically don't want this older one to represent us.
Of course, and to the coders, I'm really sorry, but to the viewers, this is a very early build. So big props to this being a very early build and looking this good still. So. Honestly, and by the description of CrimsonX, everybody should really be anticipated for Revamped Memories. This is an amazing start so far, and honestly, from seeing this build still, I will say I actually am really impressed. Because of course, this is how are you supposed to say, the process of making the game is basically kind of like a remake, right?
Yeah, we're doing it from scratch.
Exactly.
And every system, every function. We have other things, like we have a functioning shop, selection, and inventory system. But because we're redoing the whole UI, I felt it would be kind kind of improper to the coders if I was like, hey, here's this thing, and they're like, it's not gonna look like this. Even this build, like the in-game HUD will look vastly different. And I can actually send you a few screenshots of what I've designed. But in terms of this build, there's not much. Most of like what you and I will be talking about from here will be more like what we have conceptually and down like visually.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. So what we could do now, Light, is we could hop out of this build and we could get to playing some outcome memories and start with some proper Q&A questions.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. So now here's officially the proper Q&A now. We did get this Light showcase. And so for the first question, Light, what was your main inspiration for Revamped Memories?
Yeah, so Revamped Memories wasn't really my idea. It was somebody else's mix of like Chaos and the others. But for me specifically, like I always felt like, you know, there's no shade to anybody, but I always felt like the EXE community was like strictly associated with Friday Night Funkin', because that's like when I was first getting into like Friday Night Funkin' when I was like 15, 16, and I saw like the EXE mod, and I always thought it was kind of corny. But then my friend introduced me to Outcome Memories, and I actually thought, you know, like this has potential to like just be a good product, let alone like a good EXE product. Yeah. So I kind of grew attached from it from there, but I showed up a little bit at the end, like pretty much right towards the end, where like everything was kind of like falling apart, and I was like, nah, this is stupid. I'm not gonna let it end like this. And you know, I've managed projects before, and I haven't, you know, I've have a lot of experience working with teams in my career and even like the hobby stuff. So I figured it'd just be something I could get done. Yeah.
Makes sense. Because actually, when it came to a Friday Night Funkin' thing, I actually had like the same opinion to like start with the EXE stuff. Because like before, like growing up, I saw Sonic.exe like everywhere, of course. But like it was then I saw the current state. I'm like, yeah, it's just on Friday Night Funkin', you know. And then I saw Outcome Memories, right? Like my brother shows me this video of the whole Sonic Dead or Alive is Mine. I'm like, that looks sick as hell. And apparently there's some game that has something like that where it's Outcome Memories, it's on Roblox. And then like the same as you, I basically got in towards like the end, like basically December, right? But yeah, that's basically how it was. And when it comes to my next question for Revamped Memories, what is your current what is your current you just hit me out of nowhere, but what is your like mindset when it comes to like your thought process when it comes to choosing the characters that should be in this game?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I really disliked how it felt like Outcome just had like Sonic but this, Sonic but that.
Yeah.
So when it came to the characters and the roster, we're going to be having a separate roster. Pretty similar, because one of the goals of Outcome Memories is obviously to finish, or Revamp Memories is to finish Outcome Memories.
Yeah.
So definitely a lot of the roster is the same, but there are things, he left. There are things like, things like Suture and Alucard and Imperfect. We can't use those because they're Outcome Original, and Ross has stated that he doesn't want that to be associated. So to fill that gap, I'm looking for new executioners that aren't just like Sonic. They don't just have Sonic's quills. You know, CrimsonX is kind of the exception because he got moved into being planned last second, and I'm going to follow that. Yeah. But I'm sorry for the OMT fans. He just looks like Sonic again.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of moving away from things like that. This isn't a confirmation, but you know, something that really inspired me was if you're familiar with Childhood is Past. That artist has created characters that aren't just Sonic, right? The Shadow one, the Vanilla one, and I'm really interested in things like that. That's kind of like where my eye is at for killers, because I think having like silhouette differences, having like character dynamic differences, these are important things that I have and I'm keeping in mind when it comes to characters. The only Sonic lookalike that I actively enjoy right now that I'm looking at, not for killer, but just to have in some capacity, is Mrs. Sega. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Yeah, Mrs. Sega,
Mrs. Sega is part of a plan that I have, and I've revealed this before, so it's fine. But the shopkeepers it won't just be one. It'll randomize between different shopkeepers that we determined beforehand. And they'll have like different voice lines and things like that. So I'm looking at things not just as killers, but like how do I add this to build up my product, to build up my world?
Yeah. That is actually really cool. And you're a Colossus, but what was I gonna say? When it comes to Revamped Memories roster so far, I really like it, honestly, because yet again, like you said, like there's so many Sonic clones. And yet again, CrimsonX being a big exception. Even like CrimsonX was definitely one of the EXEs that if you know, then you know that CrimsonX is one of the best also, right? But
yeah, I mean, he's just a classic. Like you can't
Yeah.
have Sonic EXE without the guy who started it.
Exactly, right? Yeah, that's definitely true. And when it comes to my next question, so when did you guys start development for Revamped Memories?
That's a great question. So, Revamped Memories as a concept has been around for about 2 weeks and 3 days.
Oh, wow.
And this does not include development because development started after that. Development has gone on for like a week and a half, maybe a week and like 6 days.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot. Kind of scrambling to get the team together, scrambling to set up an organization system. I mean, I've spent like countless hours, honestly, already just trying to get everything organized. I've set up a tracker for my team, and we have a whole system going on. And my goal with that is just to kind of like make things go as fast as possible and also like as enjoyable as possible.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, they're doing things because they think it's fun. Some of them are kids, and I don't want this to be a negative experience for them.
Yeah, definitely. It's one thing that I hope it's something that everybody is well aware of, that when you have a project like this, that's it's of course a fan project, right? So when it comes to something like that, it's best to always have that positive mindset and that positive like momentum, right? You can't like have something going wrong in something like this, right? And we have learned that, of course, the hard way through Outcome Memories, but definitely I am very confident that Revamped Memories and many of the other projects will have that lesson in mind, that you have to stay positive, you have to keep everything well settled, keep everybody comfortable, right? And I'm happy to see the positivity going on so far for the game. And
I mean, our whole goal is like just don't repeat what caused it to go wrong in the first place.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to see that happen.
Yeah.
And it's a lot for them. They're remaking an entire game from scratch. We're remaking almost all of our models from scratch. A lot of our designs are from scratch. We're basically remaking the game from where they started.
Yeah.
We're just kind of going in with the lessons already learned.
Yeah, makes sense. Because when it comes to Revamped Memories, one thing that definitely caught my eye the most was the fact that this is basically a remake, right? And I'm like fascinated from that. Honestly, as like just me, I'm like fascinated. I'm like, I have to talk about this, honestly. And
really
cool.
The goal is. You could see it like a sequel almost. Think of it as like a reboot, like in your favorite series.
Basically, yeah. And definitely because one thing's for sure is that I'm noticing there's a lot that is unique with this game, right? There's so much that's unique, and I'm honestly really excited. But the next question is, when it comes to development, what would you say is the hardest part for developing Revamped Memories?
I mean, it's easy to say the code, so I'll try to pick like a different aspect.
Yeah.
I'd say probably the hardest thing is like, at least for me, it's really just organization. Like sometimes people want to work on the same thing, and it kind of leads to like a conflict of interest. Sometimes people are busy. Game development is extremely difficult, and it's really a miracle that any game ever comes out with how many things go wrong. So I'd definitely say like the hardest part in any game is just staying like focused and staying determined to see it like followed through.
Yeah, definitely. Because you could have a situation where you have more artists than coders or something, right? And it definitely it makes sense, honestly.
I mean, I'm very thankful to say that we have a lot of coders that are capable now.
And
We're definitely not like one man arming anything or anything of that sort. So it's really a blessing to be able to work with all these guys and provide them something that they wanted to experience for themselves. You know, a lot of people wanted to work on Outcome, but a lot of people may have felt like they weren't good enough or they just never had the chance because Outcome was pretty closed off, and rightfully so. They had a lot of people. But I kind of get that privilege as one of the owners and like the team director is I get to look at these people and be like, no, like there's value here, and like we can get something out of this. I want Revamped Memories to be, you know, like a labor of love and something that everybody can look at and be like this is like what it was meant to be.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually it's really funny that you actually said that, because that was the exact thing that was coming in my head when it came to many of these games, especially Revamped Memories and many others, that this is basically giving that moment to the you know, the hidden talent around the world, that whether if they're but whether if they're you know, like a kid, an adult, any person, you know, like there's so much hidden talent that like maybe this person can't actually be a full-time developer for Sega or like any other actual official game company, right? And this Revamped Memories and all these other projects, they give that chance, you know. And definitely it's something that it's more than a game. It's definitely way more than a game.
Yeah, it's a community.
Exactly, right? And I'm happy to be a part of it. Honestly, as a content creator, I'm really happy to be part of it. And so when it comes to the next question, that would be, what are the major changes that you're going to be adding in characters, as in for ability changes or anything?
Yeah, so we're still fleshing that out right now. We have a couple concepts that we're going for all the characters. But I think one of them that we have like pretty set in stone for Blaze, we're gonna switch the way that her soul meter works. So right now, you kind of have to pick one when it comes to your moveset with Blaze. You either have the soul moves or you don't have the soul moves. So I'm going to be switching it to an install where if you have enough soul to do a move that's soul boosted, instead of just doing it, you'd actually be able to go into an install, which would be her third ability, which would let her pick which one she wants to do. So like some people, I know I personally find more use out of the javelin than I do the flame. So I'd be able to pick that. I'd be able to have like full meter and only do the spear.
Makes sense. So would there be any other survivor with a major ability change or something?
Yeah, definitely. Right now we're toying with Metal Sonic. We've got a few different ideas that we're kind of tossing around. This one isn't confirmed, but I kind of liked that somebody in our suggestion chat was like, what if Metal Sonic, when he does charge, could fly? Like, what if you could overcharge it like Knuckles like punch, where if you charge it for like 5 seconds, you can fly a little bit. So that way, like he'd be able to catch, like if Fleetway's doing laser eyes and you're like, well, get out of there, you can fly to him.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think Neo Metal had something related to the fly, right?
Yeah, Neo Metal just has like full control. So when he jumps really high.
Yeah, exactly.
But things like that, and also we just voted on this. We wanted to give Metal also like a more utility-based move where he could like, you know, in Mania where like he charges the orb and he shoots it at you.
Yeah.
So we were thinking of doing something like that. You know, just like more utility things, like quality of life features for a lot of these survivors. They were all planning on getting at least a third move anyways. So in terms of things like Silver, he will be unchanged because he has 3 moves. But for the rest of them, we plan on giving a third move or some sort of like utility-based thing, like with Blaze. Something that I toyed around with Blaze is like the non-soul versions when you're in the install, like have a shorter cooldown. So if you want to throw the spear, you don't have to wait a long time. Like it won't be the same amount of time as doing the flamethrower.
Yeah, makes sense. So when it comes to the survivors, we do have full confirmation for Team Dark to be in completely, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So when it comes to any of the other survivors, would you like to talk about any upcoming survivors that weren't in Outcome Memories?
In terms of not being in it at all, We have one candidate that I think we plan on doing, but I'll keep that to myself for now because I don't want to say anything and be wrong there.
Yeah.
But I think our focus right now is just getting the game out there. One of the things that I'm stressing that our team doesn't make the same mistake in is don't spread yourself too thin. Don't look too far into the future. Like when you're making something, make it so that it can be used, not so that you can look at it and be like, oh, it's going to happen one day.
Yeah, exactly.
So our roster is fairly complete on the executioner side just because we're copying outcome. So we know what to do with like a few additions and substitutions. And I'd like to say that the same would be said for survivors, but when it comes to adding things, I'm trying to like stress to our team, like, temper yourself, temper your expectations. You don't know how hard this is going to be. Like focus on what you can do now rather than what can be done, a year from now.
Yeah, definitely. Because of course, a big difference being that you're actually going to be remaking the game from the ground up. So it's you're not only like of course how like the average viewer, average consumer would want something new, like new characters, but in your instance there's going to be remaking the game, so you have to first get the first ground done, right?
We definitely we have plans for new content. Like I can tell you for executioners, one of the new ones that we're going to do is a suture replacement. So we're not going to be doing Alucard and Perfect or Suture, but we'll be doing our own take on Suture, as Ross has given permission that if you would like, you can use a similar concept but not the same character. So we'll still be using a Wendigo Hedgehog monster, and we'll be having a similar replacement for Tavern.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so in your personal opinion, who is your favorite upcoming character for Revamped Memories? As in, like, you have a few, like, CrimsonX and something that's, like, new. So, for anything that is actually new that's coming so far, who would be your favorite?
I would say Mrs. Sega as a character is probably one of my favorite concepts in general.
Yeah.
She's kind of like a gray area. Like, she's not like just evil. Her backstory is more of one of revenge than it is just like pure hatred or like just being evil for the sake of being evil. But outside of that, I would say our Suture replacement, I'm definitely very attached to. I like, the things that you can do with that kid. Part of something that I really want to do for Revamped is bringing back the horror in an asymmetrical horror game. And I feel like Suture will really do that for me. So definitely Suture, Mrs. Sega. If we get the perms for it, some of the childhood past characters. I'm in the talks, as they say. Things are happening. So, if that's something that becomes an option for us, I'd love to do the vanilla one, for sure.
Sounds good. So, is there anything special that you would like to tease for the audience today?
We have some skins that I can show you that I think are pretty cool. Are you familiar with the Genesis palettes on the characters?
Yep, definitely.
So we're kind of making that like just a straight up skin. Like you could just play as the Genesis sprites themselves.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that I'm definitely excited about that one because I think it'll be a cool customization option. But I think something that really makes me happy about Revamp is the accessibility features and the UI changes that we plan on doing. I know people who are sensitive to light, and they have a really hard time playing Outcome Memories because Outcome Memories is flashing lights and it's doing this and it's doing that. And, same thing with colorblindness. Colorblindness, I feel, is so often overlooked, but it's such an important thing to make sure you account for. Yeah. So I just feel like having good accessibility features will really push us that extra mile, and just quality of life things like that. Something that I'm really excited for is I've been toying around with the concept of when you go to your character select, right, in the game, when the killer is selected, the HUD will pan away and it'll zoom in on the killer and they'll play like a special animation, like that's their intro animation. So like just enhancing the user experience is something I'm really passionate about and something that I'm most looking forward to.
Definitely. So would you like to show anything so far that you have for the UI, as in health bars or anything? Yeah,
for sure. Let me go ahead and pull some up. So this is one of the first concepts we made. I think I'll adjust it, but it kind of get the general idea. I'll show you the before and after. So part of Revamped is enhancing things that used to be there without outright destroying it, because we are revamped memories, not just a different game. So you notice that on the right, there's a lot of static. You know, like the red is hard to read. It doesn't have good contrast. The shapes aren't really lining up. And on the left, I fixed the contrast. Instead of saying exit, it says back. So you know you're going back to a previous menu, not exiting the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to be adding accessibility options under there. So like, it's just that kind of polish that I'm looking for when it comes to the UI. And then I'll pull up something else right now. This is a early concept for the health icon, the health bar.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of more styled after Generations.
Because,
and this would be, this is using a placeholder, but this is the individual characters. It wouldn't be pure white. Those colors are there just so I can understand the shape of what I'm working on. But just like kind of adding these shapes to feel like more like 90s classic era stuff mixed in with Generations is kind of what we're going for.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I really like how Generations is a prime focus in some of these UI stuff. And so would this mean, based on this photo, would this mean that we would be getting like special icons for alternate costumes or something?
So it's something that we've definitely discussed. It's one of my personal goals. Whether or not that is something that comes out on release is a different story. We don't know how many skins we're going to get. We don't know what the skins are going to be. But I think it's not out of the question to say that it could happen.
Definitely. That sounds amazing. And based off of everything else that we've seen, like you showed earlier on the sprites for the characters, so I'm noticing that these, when it comes to Fleetway Supersonic, this is a sprite that actually looks really good. But when it comes to the quills, this is a small thing that I'm thinking about. Would this mean that Fleetway Supersonic would look a little less like classic Sonic, or how would this work?
Yeah, so Fleetway Supersonic, our take on it is more faithful to the Fleetway comics. So
that's amazing.
His spines in that, they're different depending on when he shows up. The first time Sonic goes supersonic, it's just the normal quills. The next time they're a little bit higher, and then a little bit higher, and then a little bit higher. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're taking like one of those higher stages, not like how it is with modern Sonic where it's like purely up. We're doing, you know, some of that more like faithful stuff, and you'll see that in his model as well. We're trying to, in the lore, we are directly pulling these characters from where we're claiming, so they would reflect that.
That sounds good. That honestly sounds good, because that was a thing that I kind of had for Fleetway in this game, was the model was something that was hitting me a little bit, right? And definitely this model looks really cool. But when it comes to other executioners, that like how we spoke about earlier, when it comes to, not just simple Sonic clone. Would you have any sort of consideration for any other Sonic character that is, of course, like an official Sonic character, like Mephiles or someone?
Yeah, so we haven't discussed too much about like other Sonic characters being killers, just because we're kind of more focused on the release. So like I said, you know, the vanilla variant for the Childhood is Past storyline, Bad Future, I would love to have her, as she would be an alternate take on, you know, the traditional killer, more motherly, more just more antithetical to what's traditional for this type of game.
That sounds really amazing. And when it comes to a release date for this, I know this is a very early question, right? But like, of course, a lot of people, they want to know about this. So what would be your like estimate, you know?
I can tell you my ideal, but I can tell you right now, it's certainly not be whatever I think it is. In my, you know, I mean, like I said, we're remaking it from scratch, all our assets from scratch, like everything. You just have to imagine we're starting off from the same point that Sobi started off with. So definitely we will not be the first. We'll probably be the last one, truth be told, to come out. You know, we kind of see things as more like quality first, right?
Yeah.
We get it done right, you know?
Definitely.
That's kind of the attitude we're going with. So truth be told, I think we'll be the last one out, but you know, who knows? Like maybe we figure something out really well. Like maybe now that we have all these new team members, our workflow is going to be spectacular and we release like September or something like that. You know, you never know. But I think it would be disingenuous for me to tell you and tell everybody else that, oh, we're making such good progress, we're going to be out like soon. No, everybody has their own lives, everybody has their own workflow.
Definitely.
Especially when it comes to all the things that we take for granted in outcome memories, like the emotes, the accessories, the skins. Like these are all things that took them years, like literally 2 years to get to. And, we're doing it even faster than that. So definitely not as long as it took for everybody to wait for, like, let's say 0.2 content, right? Definitely not that long, but, I think it would be wrong for me to claim anything sooner.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. But like, based on like everything I'm seeing, it's honestly really impressive. Like how fast this is, honestly.
Yeah, sometimes, I tell my team, I'm like, guys, when we started, we had nothing. This is like 2 weeks later, and we got all these models and these concepts and the animations and the music and everything. It's, I'm really proud of these guys already. They really care about what they're making. I see the passion that these coders have. They're staying up to odd hours at night despite me yelling at them to go to bed. And they're like, no, like it's got to be good. It's got to be good.
Yeah. That honestly,
you can't mistake this kind of passion. You don't get this just anywhere. And I think our passion, our love for the source material will really come out in this game.
That honestly, that sounds amazing, because definitely what you need more than anything is you need to build like more or less not just a simple development team. You need you need to be like a family, and that sounds like that's the sort of relation you guys are going for right now. And that's honestly
they already call me Unk.
Yeah. Oh wow, really?
I'm 21, but I'm called Young Unk in this team.
Oh, that's a pretty good nickname.
Yeah,
honestly.
They call me the Yunk.
That's pretty good, honestly. So that sounds amazing. But when it comes to, because while we're at it, I know a lot of people will they do want to know things about Revamped Memories, and they want the game to come as soon as possible. So when it comes to any other sort of developers, any sort of thing that you like, if you need more coders, if you need more voice actors or anything, what would be the, what would you need right now, so whoever's watching the video, they could really reach out?
So in terms of like do you mean like requirements as a person, or requirements as in like what jobs do we need?
Yeah, what jobs would you personally need?
Yeah, so we're a little short on VFX artists. It's actually like the one thing that not really anybody applied for is the visuals of the moves. Not animations, but like the effects. So definitely, like, if you're good at that, like, reach out to me. We can make something work. But I will say, as like a disclaimer, I'm trying to avoid like having a bunch of, no disrespect, like kids on the team.
Yeah.
Because, something like this, it can be really stressful. It's a stressful situation, stressful environment. Deadlines are not normal for teenagers or like kids. And the last thing I want is to create a bad environment for them, whether that be internally or externally. We kind of already had a bad situation with our community and our team. Not because our team necessarily did something wrong, but somebody in our community really like just kind of like did something they should never do. When it comes to one of our developers, and that kind of like, it spooked me. Like, I feel a responsibility as, the team lead, and especially just as an adult, to keep the kids safe. To keep even people like slightly younger than me, like they're very impressionable. Even I'm pretty young, but it's important to me that this is a safe place for people to practice their skills, to have fun. I'm sorry if you're like 14 or 15, the chances of you getting in are you would have to like be a prodigy. Your work would have to be so good that I'm like, I'll just figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. That's honestly like, that's what I'm really liking from the game so far, is that the development team, like, you're leading this amazingly, honestly.
Thank you.
Honestly, and I'm really impressed, because when it comes to not wanting to have younger people who would have, of course, like a lot of it would feel like a lot of workload to them, as you said. So that's something that when it comes to this this community, when it comes to making these games, that's one thing that a lot of people have a mistake for, right? They enter development, and he left, but they enter development, and I'm a pretty bad executioner, to be honest, especially in Hill Gym. But
No, it's okay.
yeah, like X's Castle and Hill Gym, I'm like usually not good.
Yeah, I mean, Colossus is also the hardest one.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm when it comes to playing executioners, I play Fleetway on another account, but I didn't actually unlock Fleetway in this account. So I mean, I'm almost there. But yeah, when it comes to yet again prioritizing people that are more older, because when you get this tension that gets built for somebody feeling like they have more work than they could handle, of course, then in that situation, like that's where you get more conflicts. That's where you get like yet again for outcome memories, I want to talk about what happened, of course, but it's like it all shows that you need to have well qualified like people, not in the wrong way, but in the way that like, are they willing to take the workload? Are they ready to take the workload? And of course, if you want to take that step, you're more than welcome to, but like you have to know that this is a lot of workload and you need to have like spot on laser sharp like communication then, right? And that's definitely one thing that is important when it comes to these games. And I'm really
for sure.
Definitely, and I'm really happy to see that. Oh wow, Fleetwood. But actually, in the YCR, a really common issue that comes in with me in YCR, like I'm really going to like get Colossus. He's at like a couple of HP left, and then like I mess up and get hit by the explosion, right? Like the white explosion that happens in the end, yeah. But yeah. So when it comes to currently, what would your plans be for the coming months? Like, what would your main focus be when it comes to like graphically, right? Like that's basically my question. When it comes to graphically, what would your main focus be?
So I think we're just kind of taking things at like divide and conquer strategy. I mainly focus on the in-game UI and sometimes help with the editing and the designs and all that. So we're just kind of going things one step at a time. Get the survivor done for all the ones that are going to be for roster on release. Get the executioner done for release. Get the in-game HUD done, and then after there we kind of like branch out. Like somebody will work on the shop UI, which I'm pretty sure will be me. And then somebody will work on, you know, like maybe the settings area, like working on getting the settings to work, what type of settings we're going to include, things like that. So it's just kind of like picking things by a priority list of like, what would the user see first, right?
Yeah.
Like what's the first impression that we need to make sure is good?
Definitely. You know, like you kind of need that, how you say in cooking class, you need that meal appeal, right?
Yeah.
You need to look appealing. Right, and definitely.
Yeah, you need that meal appeal.
Definitely makes sense. But yeah, when it comes to stages, I actually totally forgot to touch upon the stages. What's your current plans for the stages of the game?
All of the ones that are in the game right now.
Okay, that sounds good.
We don't have any currently planned original or new stages, just because like you got to make a lot of them, and it's better if we just release with what we currently have than like delay the patch a bunch so you can get one more map.
Definitely. So I saw a lot of graphical updates when it came to Green Hill and everything. So would you like to describe about the graphical updates of the game?
Yeah, so it's pretty much just like making sure we're using best practices. You know, OM was a learning experience for the previous devs. I'm pretty sure it was like one of Sobi's first time like doing modeling or mapping or anything of that kind. So we're just making sure that like when we release something, it's like kind of like finished from the get-go, and that's no shade to Outcome Memories, you know, like they're on a pretty tight schedule. It's just that for us, we're kind of doing things in our own way. Like if somebody's better at something, then they'll just do it, right? Like we're not trying to one-to-one the original game.
Definitely. And I think that is definitely one of the first things that caught my eye. It's because when I saw Revamped Memories, I thought it looked cool, and then when I checked in the Discord server and I saw screenshots and everything, I was definitely impressed, right? Like, there's definitely a lot that this game is holding up. And for one of my last questions, it would be, what is your plan for when it comes to music for the game? Like last man standing themes. Yeah.
It's a bit of a mixed bag. So it depends on what it is. There are certain things where like we want to do a remix or we just straight up want to use it, and we would only do that if we have like specific firms to do so. Some music is available. Like I know Soul That Still Burns is available, and I can't imagine Blaze having anything else. So
yeah,
stuff like that would kind of be a no-brainer. But you know, something that we just sneaked recently was like Shadows LMS, and it's not like it's not like a one-to-one with the other one. And, you know, for Sonic, like we're not necessarily going to be using Johnny's voices because you know that was a commission for that specific project. So that's kind of like out of the picture for us. And I think rightfully so. I don't have $3,000 to give Johnny to record new voice lines, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That was a big feat from Outcome, and, you know, credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
But we're kind of mostly doing our own thing. The new characters, like Rouge, will probably have her own music, just as she's got her own redesign. You know, characters like our Suture replacement will obviously have his own original design and original music. So when it comes to music, it's pretty much on a case-by-case basis. Some things we may want to reuse or remix, and then some things we may want to do by ourselves.
Definitely. Sounds good. And for my very last question for Revamped Memories, that would be, what is your plan for when it comes to the long term? Like you said, you don't want to think about the long term, but when it comes to the long term, like future for the game, what would your assumption be, just hypothetically?
I would say that in my mind's eye for Revamped Memories, I see a community that eclipses its original game and a game that eclipses its original game and kind of stands the test of time as like something that was successful. I know we have implicit competition with, you know, Outcome Memories Revival and not Revamp, sorry, that's us. Outcome, it was Outcome Memories Revival and Project Outcome?
Project Outcome, correct, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I know we have an implicit competition with them, and I'm pretty competitive, so like, me personally, I want to win, but, you know, like no bad blood or hard feelings with those guys. You know, they're doing what they can. I have a lot of respect for people who are trying to bring something back where they don't really have a lot to work off of. Especially for the Outcome Memories Revival, I have a lot of respect for it because 90% of that team is the old Outcome Memories team. The people who were still left after everybody else quit. So I have a lot of respect for like sticking that out and doing your best. But for me, I want to make something that is so good that you have no choice but to come to us because the quality is that high.
Definitely. Because when it comes to these projects, like I have spoken about Project Outcome in the past. I've done a Q&A with Project Outcome, and I've spoken about a lot of these games, right? And one thing that I would definitely say for sure is no matter what happens, everybody's winning. Because especially the player. The player is winning, and that's what we want the most then, right? The player is winning, right? The
player is winning no matter what. And, you know, like I said, no hate to those guys. I think we can coexist. I just want to be the most, the most unique choice for that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now when it comes to everything else, I think we've spoke about a lot today. Thank you for your time, Light.
Of course, thank you.
Any other words for the fans and the community for Revamped Memories?
Please join our Discord.
Definitely.
Please come hang out with us. Come have a good time. I hope you look forward to our redesigns, both visually and gameplay wise. I know that people are really happy with the Rouge redesign. Yeah, I can say I definitely am too. And something I want to make clear, when it comes to designs of characters, this wouldn't apply to Sonic because that's a remodel. It's the same design. It's a remodel. Yeah. Any character that gets a redesign from us, you will have an Outcome Memory skin, so you can play the old design.
Yeah.
So if you prefer that, you will have that option. Like I said, we're all about accessibility. I actually sent you 2 screenshots where our Colossus is on the bottom with our arm, but you can pick Colossus with the Outcome Memories arm too.
Sounds good. And
you can show off that top character if you want.
Definitely. Sounds good. But when it comes to a specific question, and this is actually like, of course, this is a bonus question, but like,
Yeah.
yeah. So, when it comes to the Werehog's costume, because I'm like Werehog DX, right? I'm all
Right.
in for the Werehog, right? So,
Right.
what's your plans for the Werehog?
It's just kind of like the same answer I'd give for any skin. We're committed to
shoot.
restoring
Yeah.
the game that you remember and you like.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not going to say anything because, truth be told, we haven't spoken about Werehog yet, and I don't want to,
Yeah.
like, do that.
Definitely.
But I can tell you we are faithfully committed to giving you the skins that you know and love. I know for Colossus, we actually got permissions to use the Excalibur skin.
Oh, really?
So that's part of, yeah, we did. We did. It was nice.
That sounds amazing.
So, you know, we're committed to bringing you things that you remember, both actually in the game right now and planned.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So that's Revamped Memories, everyone. I hope y'all enjoyed the Q&A with Light. Yet again, big thanks to you, LightWhisp. Honestly,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was an amazing time. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But,
Shout out to the team.
Definitely shout out to the team for their amazing hard work. And honestly, everybody join the Revamped Memories Discord server and just check out daily on everything new that's coming in for this game. And until next time, everybody, see y'all. And see ya, everybody. And please like, share, subscribe. And until next time.